Welcome to Down South Football Podcast. We're coming to y'all on this Tuesday night, man. Hoping everybody had a great football weekend, man. We had Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday full of games. We're going to talk to y'all about a little bit about what happened in week one, just give a quick recap of what's going on. But first, let me introduce my other people on the show. We got our man at I am DJ Double Dose, better known as Lee Corso, also known as Benjamin Dennis.
What's going on, world?
Man?
Nothing much, man. You know what I'm saying? Just basking in the glow of this climb, man. That's all, man. Basking in the glow of the climb. You know what I'm talking about?
And down here on the bottom of me with the merch on, with the merch on, DSF
that's our model. That's our model.
DSLpodcast.com. Y'all go get you some of that merch. It's Mr. Adil Gardner 205, Mr. David Gardner. I call him the silent assassin. Mr. Gardner, what's going on, man?
Hey, man, just taking it easy, brother. Taking it easy.
That's all.
I need that one, Dave. I like that one. I need that one.
One of one.
That's definitely not a 101, sir. That is on the site. It is on the site. And speaking of people causing trouble, we have Senator Tuck, better known as at Chauncey Tuck, in the building. Chauncey, what's going on, brother?
I tell you what, I was giving so many people hell that even Ben was trying to come to my house and choke me. I felt his thumbs is going crazy. But
nah, nothing that.
We'll talk about the look of the Irish here, per se.
You damn right about that. You damn right about that.
Let's go.
You damn right about that. Goddamn touchdown, Jesus blowing kicks to the goddamn lip.
I'm sorry, Renard. I'm sorry.
See, this is how he started the other night.
My fault, Renard.
Damn touchdown, Jesus took the flight down to Tallahassee.
I'll take all the blame on this one. That's my fault.
Before we get really started, let's Ben count to 10.
I'm good.
That's a DM shirt right there.
Tuck started.
Ben, count to 10. That's the next shirt.
Count to 10.
Please
Send the order in right now, Dave. Put the order in right now.
Hey, but before we get into a little bit, we're gonna get a little bit deeper to the game. Try and do this little reaction show for y'all. Let's talk about just a little bit. Just your quick reaction. What was the first thing come to your mind when we talk about for some past stuff from this past weekend? Washington losing to FCS Montana 13-7. Jimmy Lake's first game. I just need a quick reaction, wow.
He's not gonna be that long.
If you keep doing that, that ain't gonna last long.
Nah. Montana
already had a
powerhouse, but
Montana's a really powerhouse in FCS, but I just expect them to lose to Washington. So next on the reaction list, we all thought Louisiana was gonna keep it close, but Sark came in there and do his thing. Louisiana versus Texas. What's your quick reaction on that?
I just think that Sark had a couple more athletes than Louisiana had, because a lot of those cats from Louisiana last year were not there this year. Not there this year.
Well, they had 19. They had 19 starters coming back.
Right. Yeah, they had 19, but but some of those guys got hurt last year. Would come as a quote unquote starter.
Yeah. And I just say this: I think Sark heard enough about watching out for them that he actually watched out for them. That's my reaction to it.
Dave, what you got? What you think?
I think Sark is Sark.
I got
at the end of the day, he's solid. So that's what I got.
One of these games on our pick 'em, Indiana versus Iowa. I just need a quick reaction to that. Thank you, Iowa. That's all I got to say about that.
Michael Penix, whatever your name is, brother. Took a step back.
The media is loving Iowa, man. I heard some good things about Iowa. They love it.
I got to see a little bit more if I could jump on this Hawkeye bandwagon. Hawkeye.
I got you. Okay, and this, I'm sorry, go ahead. You got something else? Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that's it.
Okay, Oklahoma versus Tulane. Now, I got something on Oklahoma Tulane, but you put.
Bruh, let me tell you.
Disappointment. Damn it. I thought Oklahoma defense had gotten a smidge better, but 35 points to Tulane with a possession to go. No, man.
But in Tulane's favor, they pretty good. They're getting better. They were getting better, and they had a chip on their shoulder from coming from what's going on down in with Hurricane Ida and stuff too.
Yeah, one Louisiana team actually played worse after the hurricane. But
you always skipping ahead, sir. Can you just hold it? Go ahead, David.
Hey man,
I want to revisit this matchup in week 5 because I want to know is Tulane really, really good or is Oklahoma kind of bad? So let's put a pin in this one.
We're gonna put a pin, but I will say this about this: Oklahoma is a notorious slow starting team. As almost every year, they're very, very notorious slow starting. So it's like I don't know what to make of this. More maybe that the fact of, from what I can see, that they took Tulane a little lightly, and Tulane, like you said, had a chip on their shoulder. I like you said, Dave, I don't know which is which. But maybe Tulane is just better than what people want to give to for the name of Tulane. Now I got this on our quick reaction list just because of it wasn't. This ain't no disrespect. Before I get 6,000 DMs, this is just what it was. We knew this Bama-Miami game was going to be a blowout. I might spend a minute and a half, and then we can go forward. But quick reaction to Bama versus Miami. I'm gonna start with you, Ben.
It went as expected as my Wi-Fi went out Saturday morning. Y'all literally started talking about that game, and my Wi-Fi went out. Soon as we started talking about that, it went as expected, man.
God is always in the blessing.
It went as expected, man.
God pushed the button.
It went as expected, man. They ain't back. It went as expected.
I'm not.
Very disappointed in Derek King. Very disappointed in Manny Diaz. Very disappointed in Red Lashley. Very disappointed in Miami. Period. I didn't think they were gonna be back, but they just like they didn't show up. I mean, play caller was terrible. Scheme was terrible. Yeah, it's just terrible all the way around.
So to echo what Tuck is saying, and first of all, this is probably one of the only few times I would agree with that guy over there. But this was by far the worst game of the weekend, and this shit was terrible.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
it was the worst. I mean, this was.
It was from the jump. It was from the jump.
Yes, and then they were bagged up on the goal line. They just threw like a 90-yard touchdown. I'm like, bro, what is this? First of all, can we do one thing for me? Let's stop saying the U is back. Not us, but in general. Manny Diaz need to go. Mm-hmm. He got to go.
It's coming.
If this was our boy Willie T,
he'd have been gone.
Hey, they made a point though.
It's coming. Please believe it's coming. After what happened with North Carolina at the end of last year, and then what this looked like coming in at the beginning of this year.
This looked like pure.
Now, Renard, this me speaking real. Forget the hate. Like those two games, that fan base, the ones that are not on the Manny Diaz train, they got both of these games pinpointed. Like, yo, look what he do against elite competition.
Right.
I'm just saying though. Yeah. I just don't see Miami having that bad of athletes, unless the athletes as Alabama are they just that much better.
But North Carolina did that to them last year at the end of the season.
And in the fairness of Alabama, I mean, Alabama's third string is probably better than Miami's first string.
But that's a whole other conversation.
Offensively, now their defense still is okay.
This is what I would say when I saw this game and I saw who was coming back for Bama and I saw who Miami had coming back on their y'all know me, I'm gonna always throw a defense offensive line. Right. And when they was already talking about in the spring that this game not gonna be close because Miami's defensive line just is not gonna be up to snuff. If you ain't got in the front seven against them, then you just might just go. You might just go ahead and just hang it up. Now on the Alabama side, I'm trying to figure out Ryan Day. I don't know what you should have done to keep Jamison Williams there, but bruh, the dude. Fastest dude on the field with all these Bama athletes.
Yes.
Bryce Young sitting up there, and I'm telling you, man, Bryce Young is sitting back there picking them up. That defense is better. And like I told him beforehand, you ain't blocking Will Anderson. Now, his buddy got hurt. Chris Allen got hurt on the other side. He's probably out for the year. Yeah. But, man, like I told somebody else, I said, what y'all want me to say? The train keep rolling. When I talk about college football, I talk about college football and I talk about Alabama. That's just two totally different classes. I don't even talk to y'all because y'all just not in the same atmosphere because all y'all just keep doing is this. It just keeps rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling. We'll see how Bryce them gets against a better team down the line. I mean, they got Florida in 2 weeks. Florida don't like they really a threat to nobody. You know, they just didn't. They just did. They can't even get their QB situation right, man.
Well, I think they got it right. Coach, I think we found ourselves a quarterback.
Mr. Richardson.
And his name is not Emory Jones either.
Look, somebody was talking about that, and they was like, you know it's bad when the Cozy Perry outplays you. Like, let's let that sink in. Like, you know, when the Cozy Perry outplays you, Emory Jones, that's bad.
Right, and that was the crazy part about it. But just those are some quick hitters, man. And like I said, before I go ahead, man, y'all just like I told us about Alabama, it just keeps rolling. The train gonna keep rolling. I mean, that's just what it is. And when I tell you, I don't even talk about y'all no more. I want to talk about y'all because I talk about y'all when y'all get to an important game, which we ain't.
And like you said, it's no disrespect to them. It just is what I mean. What more can you say? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Right now, they haven't missed a beat.
When we get Clint on, we'll go more in depth with about the Bama part of it. I would be remiss if I didn't say anything about the new look Tigers on the Plains. I've heard enough about them all weekend long, and I would just say this about that. Just 1 minute on that. It's just that I told somebody it ain't about that they beat Akron. Akron ain't won a game in 2 years. For real, they won game in 2 years. It's more about the fact it was a clean game. It was the execution. It wasn't no playing around. It's like we gonna do what we do. We gonna get in here. And I actually saw a route tree. I saw a route tree. I saw things. I saw tight ends. I saw things I ain't never saw. You could just tell the discipline of Harsin and what he don't play was in on that particular team. And I just feel like they just went ahead and handled their business when it came to that. And we'll see week 3. We'll see week 3. So what you got on that? Because I know you died.
Look, let me tell you, when they got to the 5-yard line and I saw 3 tight ends
and somebody under center.
It was beautiful. I damn near cried. It was beautiful.
It was fundamental.
Going back to, like you said, you saw a route tree. Yes. Bo Head actually moved from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. Was not open, went to a hot route. Haven't seen that in 2 years. That's why I was like, progression? Whoa, what is this? Defensively, I saw swarming. Defensively, I saw gap integrity. I saw setting the edge. I saw linebackers flowing. I saw DBs being aggressive. Like I said, it is against Akron, but I saw discipline. I didn't see nobody rush. If this was a Gus game, this game would have went all the way to the third quarter, and then we would have pulled off.
I mean, let's be real. No turnovers, no fumbles, 2 penalties. I don't know the last time Auburn had a game like that. And everything just seemed executed and crisp. Like, okay, let's go out here and do what we need to do. Everybody can get in, and then everybody can get out or do whatever. But like you said, in 2 more weeks, they got days arch nemesis, arch rivals this week. But hey,
they beat the brakes
and then week 3 we're really gonna see what's going on. We'll talk about that more off of the air. But let's get into it. Let's get into this high-powered matchup with a lot of these points. Well, some people thought it was gonna be points. If you knew it was back on that front 7 on Georgia side, you knew it wasn't.
You knew it won't be no points.
Clemson versus Georgia. I would say I'm gonna start with first impressions before we get into it. Let's say my first impression was, I don't know why. We have a new nickname. If y'all been with us a long time, y'all know we used to talk about Montravius Adams from Auburn, and Dave used to call him the 1 to 3 gap. 1 to 3, because he was in both gaps. We have a new name. We have Mr. All Gaps.
All gaps.
Mm-hmm. That's Mr. Jordan Davis.
Let the people know who he is, Mr. Jordan Davis.
Mr. Jordan Davis, number 99. Now he was causing havoc last year, and they thought he was gonna go pro. They recruited between who the guys they've had up there and the Kobe Dean and all them boys behind them. Like, that D line is deep and talented, but it all starts with you not moving that stump. You ain't moving Mr. All Gaps. So the Georgia defense stood up to what they were supposed to be. That was my first impression, was that, wow, that Georgia front seven actually lived up to the billing. What's y'all first impression?
I mean, it's still gonna echo what you said. I mean, you know, you've been talking about Nakobe Dean on air, off air for the last couple of years, but when you see it against a Clemson, regardless of whatever problem Clemson got on the offensive line, they're still Clemson. And when you see him and Jordan Davis, I mean the whole defense, but when you see those two guys just pop on your screen and they dominate the way that they did, I mean, that's just, you know, if you're a Georgia fan, you smiling. You know what I'm saying? You ain't even worrying about the fact that the offense didn't score an offensive touchdown. You ain't even worrying about that right now.
Hey, Ben, you know another reason why you smiling? Because you're missing your top 5 wide receivers. You're missing 2 of your top linemen. They were missing like 9 or 10 dudes.
So you just hanging on.
And you were supposed to have the best tight end duo in the country until Eric Gilbert, whatever going on with him. And then now you got Darnell Washington got hurt. Like, dude, like if they could just get some of them boys back with them backs they got back there. Now that line ain't strong as it normally used to be, but you gotta like Georgia, man. You gotta like Georgia. You go ahead and finish your point, Ben. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're right. And I mean, and if you look at ultimately Georgia's, you know, their thought process is taking care of the East, which unless Florida shows us something completely different in these next couple of weeks, Georgia shouldn't have any issues taking care of the East. And getting to Atlanta, you know, facing whoever they need to face in Atlanta. So,
well, I told you Florida wasn't in my conversation. I told you who my number 2 was.
Well, I leave it out just in case maybe that was a sleeper game and maybe something might click. I doubt it, but you know, but you never know. Something may click. You know, that's big coming from me to say that.
That really is.
That's big coming from me. You know what I'm saying?
Ben is showing a lot of growth in 2021.
So you know, so as far as Georgia goes, man, you know, hats off to him, man. But my first impression is before we dig into the full part of the game, just that defense, man. It just right now it was looking phenomenal. It's looking real phenomenal right now.
Mr. Chauncey took.
We're talking about Georgia, right?
Oh God, here we go.
Let me tell you, these guys, and y'all know,
I don't like the offense.
I don't like these puppies. I don't like these puppies at all. But Mr. Jordan Davis, yes sir, grown man. Renard the dean told us that you have to like Georgia. No, you don't. That's not true. But in this case, I just gonna say the 1980 thing is probably about to it's getting closer to being ended, you know. But I'm not gonna say they're national champs or nothing like that. But if they continue to play defense like they did the other night, right, and they continue and they can find just a little bit of offense, just a little bit, something that
they can find 21 points. They can find 21 points.
Yeah, they can find it somewhere. I mean, they'll be pretty straight. They'll be pretty good. I'm not gonna say that they are like national champions or, you know, like that, like the contenders or nothing, but they are. I mean, defensively, they can be put up there. Like I said, Dean did his job. That not just Jordan Davis, that whole front, the defensive line. Like I said, mentioned all gaps. They set the edge. Dean was like a good missile. They were doing twists. They were doing stunts. They were confusing. And on the Clemson side, I really just don't think Big Cinco can read a defense. They were dropping. I just don't. I really don't.
With Tuck Keenham was time.
Okay. So you don't have time, right? So it's things that you can do in the field that you have to realize you're gonna have to step up in the press. Every time he stepped up, he was getting hit in the mouth. Okay, you got to coach. That's on coaching too. It's a little bit of coaching, but look, dog. It was sometimes there was a guy there, but he has to anticipate he has to stay in because he'll bail out a lot of the times too and try to throw on the run. You know, they were playing cover 4. They would. I mean, that's how good that front seven was. They were playing cover 4. They were dropping back the 2 safeties and the corners back, and they couldn't hit. He couldn't hit the middle. I mean, it's things you can do.
But from watching bad offensive line play, Let me tell you something.
It wasn't
that. Sometimes you once you start hearing ghosts, man, you start seeing ghosts, bro.
Trust me, because Bo Nix been doing that for the last 2 years too. But I'm not gonna take away nothing for Georgia defense. I just think they were pretty awesome. But Cinco gonna have to do something because Alabama defense, the top teams right now have tough defenses. Like they're flying all over the place. So you're gonna have to figure something out.
Go ahead, Dave.
I got 2 things to say. Well, 4 things to say. One, I think that really 2. I think that both defenses are solid because I can really combine those 2.
Right.
And I think both offenses suck. I really do. When you really think about it, I think it's a combination of both. What we saw was a combination of good defense and terrible ass offense. Here's why I say that. Let's just be real, guys.
Okay.
We're not gonna see that kind of game no more. I mean, we know how football is today.
Yeah.
You know, and to hold a team under 30 is tremendous in today's game. And I think that as the season go on and film gets broke down and adjustments get made, Georgia will find themselves in a shootout. But what would Georgia do? Are their weapons gonna be back? I don't know. We're still talking about Kirby Smart too as a coach. But Clemson on the other end, I have absolutely no clue what they were trying to do offensively. I still don't know.
I don't think they know, Dave.
Yeah, I mean, I told y'all what was going on with me while I was watching the game, but I picked up on that much. I don't know what they were trying to do. I don't. So I think it's a combination. I think both defenses are solid. I think they're good. But in today's game in 2021, when you see that small of a point total, I think I got to point my finger to bad offense at that point.
And that's definitely a possibility. And when it comes to Clemson offense, I wonder about what I said before we hit the record button. And somebody else pointed that out to me about Clemson having to diversify the offense from what they do, and that they've been relying on skill a lot. How many plays, if you for real, just take 2 seconds. How many plays? Not saying that anybody's a bad coach. Not saying Tony Ellis is a bad offense coordinator. How many plays over the past 3 to 4 years have we seen where whether it's Justin Ross making a play, ETN making a play, Trevor Lawrence making a play? It wasn't the scheme.
Right.
It was superior athletic play and a couple of good calls. Good calls.
Deshaun Watson, don't stop right there, brother. Keep going.
No, we gotta go back. We gotta go back to the helicopter. Deshaun Watson willing them. I mean, it just and when somebody pointed out to me, I just started thinking. I'm like,
yeah.
Like if you really sit down and think about it, like think about. I'm telling you where it really showed. Think about when what's old boy name that transferred the quarterback, the black quarterback,
Bryant.
When Kelly Bryant then played Alabama, they looked like they had no answers.
Yeah.
Right.
And it just makes me wonder, like, how long has this been system in our eyes? Not saying we sitting there drawing X's and O's. How many times has it been the athletes that pulled them out and not necessarily the scheme? Now you need great athletes for a scheme, but I'm saying like the athletes have seemed to be the ones that's like, okay, well, we're gonna run this all tackle with ETN. We're gonna make this work. We're gonna make this play action work. We're gonna make this great catch by Leggett.
And look, and you know something now, even to your point too, he don't get a lot of credit, but he was still kind of like the start of their run. They just didn't win with him. But when you go back to Taj Boyd, when he was there, that's when they really started building with the athletes. Why they always call themselves wide receiver U, because you got to think back to the receivers that they even had when he was there at quarterback. You see what I'm saying? So
being the only reason they didn't win then because you had Florida State there.
That's the only reason why they couldn't get over the hump then. So it's like you said, they've been kind of whatever you want to say, blessed for over a decade with Boyd, Watson, and Trevor. And now they finna have to put in some work with Big Cinco.
I must say this though. I don't care whether it's Clemson, Notre Dame, the miraculous and the great Alabama, when you have to have that elite guy.
Okay? You got to.
And I don't care if you let's just say basketball. You have Phil Jackson coaching the basketball team.
Mm-hmm.
But if he don't have the horses for that team,
it's over with.
It's his team.
So y'all should just work together.
Sometimes you just may not have the same horses.
Yeah.
Just may not have the same horses, Doc. I mean, could be.
And talking about DJ, like I went back and looked at how he was in the Notre Dame game. Now I know we know about pressure, we know about all that kind of stuff like that, but Notre Dame wasn't no slouch defense last year.
No, he was down against them. He was down against them.
But but my point is that it's not by him being down. I'm talking about the way that he performed. He went out there and performed against Notre Dame. The performance was like night and day. So it's
But here's the thing. I go back. I thought about that too. But you threw him into a fire like he was young. He ain't had too much to worry about. He's just going out there and playing football. Now he knows he's the guy. Now he knows
he in it all summer.
Right. Mm-hmm. He knows he's the guy. They've been talking about this all summer long, but they ain't talking about Jordan Davis all gap. No, they ain't talking about him. But
all gaps.
They ain't talking about him. But they I think he was thinking too much. I really think, because it was plays that were there. They were there. It was like a half a step behind. That was it.
So
go ahead.
I want somebody to find out. I need to go to the research department. How many offensive line starters did we have come back for Clemson?
Offensive line starters?
I want to say two.
Two, yeah. I think it's two or three.
So we replacing 3 offensive line.
Yeah.
2, yeah.
That could be your problem.
That could be your problem.
That could be a problem.
But I know Elliott is a way better OC than that. If you see this rush coming, if you see this, you have to adapt to this rush, because the thing is, you got to call rollouts. You got to call more screen. If this defense is aggressive,
true.
They are screen friendly. That Clemson, I didn't see Clemson call one screen the whole night. And that's why I was like, throw a screenplay. You drop a cover 4, throw something across the middle. It's ways to stop that. It is. It ain't just all Madden Pro Team on. You know what I'm saying? You can play against it.
But here's something else to your point too, Tuck. Like I'm looking at they rushing. I'm not gonna count DJ's stuff. We're gonna leave his stuff out because the sack count.
Yeah,
they had 9 carries for 24 yards.
Mm-hmm. I ain't saying running ball.
But I'm just saying, but it was like they almost, even though we knew that they quote unquote couldn't run it. Hell, they abandoned it. I mean, you had 9 carries for a whole game.
You had to. I mean, at one point, because
did you really ever still just
because after
you wouldn't run the ball. You wouldn't run the ball.
After the pick 6, dog, they were behind. You're not gonna get back in the game running the football.
What was the score, though?
Huh?
What was the score?
It was the final score
was 10-3.
10-3.
10-3.
10-3. I mean, Jesus Christ!
The pick 6 happened in the second quarter.
You only had 9 rushes.
That's it.
So you talking
4 and 1.
You talking about running the ball 1.3 times a quarter?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I mean, here's what if you saw the game.
I'm sorry, 1.25, I think.
Yeah, if you saw the game, you'll be like, okay, I see why. Because they'll run like on second down and get nothing, and then it'll be 3rd and long, and then you have to pass. You can't run on 3rd and long. That's what I'm saying. If they would catch a rhythm,
they didn't get nothing on first.
I was saying they wouldn't get nothing on first. That's what I'm saying. You get nothing on first.
Hell.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I digress. I'm sorry. I digress.
Yeah, it's okay.
But I think to your point though.
Coaching to me. That would
and to your point though.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of it is coaching. I agree. A lot of it is coaching. But could you run the ball like 5-6 more times? Yes. Just throw them off. Call a draw.
DJ threw the ball 37 times. I don't even think that was
had time. They could have ran a draw play for DJ. They didn't do that.
Yeah.
I don't know what Elliott was in his bag. He wasn't in his bag last night. I mean, the other night.
I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back and watch. But it looked like they did lose 3. But it also was like another guy, like he came back, but they moved.
And then don't forget the center had their starting center had to learn how to switch to snapping left-handed.
I think that was Georgia center.
Yeah.
Yeah, but both centers had the issue. But I think truth be told, like the line ain't never been they strong suit. It's been the scheme with the weapons on the outside. But when you're not afraid of the pass, but you have to pass. I mean, what the hell are you gonna do? I mean, let's just be real about it. What? I mean, I need to go back and watch it again, really, and just watch the two lines because every time I saw it, all I saw was an orange Georgia getting thrown to the left or to the right. I mean, what is what I saw, which is left and right, and then I saw when it was a pass play. I think Adam Anderson, I think that's his name. Adam Anderson, all them boys coming off the edge. All I saw was the Clemson man trying to survive, and the Georgia people and the Georgia defensive line just kind of like going up under. I'm just sitting there like, I don't know what the plan was going in. Yeah. I just know that it's just, I put like this, that line just rubs it.
Yeah, and
just rubs it a lot.
And White had White had 13 carries for 75 yards. So I mean, but they still wasn't dominant nowhere near on offense. You know, that's what I'm saying. It's I don't know.
Did it seem like to you all that they wasn't playing to the strength of Justin Ross?
They wouldn't.
And I don't think Ross is healthy.
Not 100%, no.
I mean, I know he's not 100%. I don't think he's.
But did they throw any type of 50-50 ball to him?
Oh, they threw it to him. But he got covered.
I was enumerated, guys.
Look, it's like Renard said, I think it's more mental right now than anything. Because I mean, dog, you're thinking about if one slight move, my back might get broke. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And also for Georgia, what's name didn't play? The All-American corner from West Virginia.
Yeah, he didn't
even play. They had folks out over there, but if you looked at it, Ross just didn't seem to have that separation.
He didn't because he's scared. I think he's a little timid. Give him probably maybe game 4. I mean, because he still not, to me, he's not in game shape. You got to get in game shape.
Right. BJ and them got to step up.
Yeah, big time.
I mean, they got to step up.
They got to find him a running back too. They got to find him a running back because I don't think
that little Shipley dude, he ain't it.
Yeah, he ain't the answer. I mean, he's not the answer. And then
as much as Dabo's in love with this dude, he's gonna get another shot. I put like this. I don't care if you to put Peyton back there when somebody ain't gonna block him.
You could have. Look. Let me tell you something.
My thing is, let me see him against average competition before I say pull him.
All right, that's what I was gonna say. Let me see, but with the rest of their schedule, it's not looking too.
Because bro, they are. When I tell you they are in love with this dude, they are in love with shit. Dude. And I'm just like, well, let me see. I mean, and I ain't gonna hold no judgment against what Clemson do because look, all gaps was all everywhere, and everybody else was everywhere. So my thing is, let me see them against a defense that's not to the caliber of Georgia. Let me see, because I couldn't even see him get loose. He couldn't even do anything. So it's like you said, 9 rushes. It's like, okay, well, what I'm supposed to do? Let me see what Shipley is going to do going forward. Let me see what both teams are going to do from week 1 to week 2 going forward.
Well, to your point, they got South Carolina State, Georgia Tech, and NC State coming up. So
we'll see. Go ahead,
Dave. Did y'all see Bentley, number 42?
Yeah, Levanta. Yes.
Yeah.
Saw Levanta.
Ben, he's by way of he's a Jackson Olin graduate by way of Parker High School. Linebacker, like to knock somebody jaw loose.
I'm talking about like to kill somebody, bro. Like somebody was gonna get hurt. But that's we can talk all day about the Clemson Georgia game. Right. Let's move on to the shocker. I'm not gonna even call it that. Let's move on to the West Coast. Let's move out there to them LSU Tigers and them new Chip Kelly UCLA Bruins.
Can we go ahead?
Hey, Tuck, what color is the jersey now? We were trying to figure out what color it was.
According to Ed Orgeron, it's sissy blue.
Sissy blue. That's what they call it. Sissy blue.
I need a video clip.
Coach O. My brother. Coach O. My brother.
It's sissy.
I should have had the video clip. My bad. That's on me. My bad.
Bruh, I'm just like, what in the world?
And they said, you know what, we're gonna roll with it too. They done made the shirt. They said, we're gonna roll with it too.
I'm trying to buy it.
Hold on. Hold on. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about LSU versus UCLA. First, my initial reaction to this is Zach Charbonnet was a dog last week. You know, he was a dog last week even before this game.
He was.
I really thought, and this is just me being honest, I really thought that LSU was going to really be ready to do some damage. Not necessarily blow somebody out. I just thought in the end that LSU would win the game because I know one thing about LSU. It's not a lack of talent.
Right.
It's not a lack of talent, but it might be a lack of coaching. I'm gonna say this, Coach O. That U-Haul truck ain't turned over yet. But I'm gonna go and tell you right now, they about to they might be putting a credit card down just to hold it.
Just a deposit.
It might be a deposit right there. Now, if you talk about this game, man, shout out to DTR, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, for continuing to get better and do his thing. Zach Charbonnet, man, I'm telling you, man, I want that kid in my backfield. 11 carries, 117 yards. Don't it feel like he ran the ball 30 times?
I swear, it seemed like he did. I swear it seemed like he did, man.
But him and Brown was back there doing their thing, man. But you gotta give a shout out to Chip Kelly, man, because he's adjusted. And I think I said something about it last week. The way that he does his runs, with just switching it up with the way he's doing the inside zone and the way he's coming up his creative scheme, he has literally transformed his scheme from just all wide open, but he's always had that run scheme. But he's just way more effective with it now, man. That team believes. That team got some ballers on there. So, Tuck, you give me your first impression about what you thought about LSU and UCLA. I can't wait to hear this.
Well, you know, I said in the last week's show from week 0 that you don't be surprised about UCLA because one, Chip Kelly didn't do any, like you said, we're going back to the running game. He didn't do any stretch runs last week. None. Didn't do any of it.
Vanilla.
Very vanilla. No digs, no traps, no inside, nothing. I was like, oh, they saving that. 2, I also said, I want to see him throw the ball to the tight end. I said, I want them to see how they're going to stretch the field. He ate in and out. That's how in and out burger. That's what he was eating the whole night. I mean, he was eating Stingley. Look, oh my God, y'all, somebody go talk to that young man because if anybody want anything to know about the NIL right now or NLI, whatever the thing called,
name, image, likeness, NIL. There you go.
Yeah, thank you. Somebody needs to go talk to him because he's trying to get more endorsement deals and play football. Coach Orgeron. He is the basement he's the basement bottom feeder type of coach that's going to be just like Gene Chizik. This is what's going to happen. Orgeron made the hugest mistake ever in life by not hiring Joe Brady to be the offensive coordinator.
Oh, you want the LSU fans and
this pod
all of it because I'll see y'all October 2nd, and I can't wait.
Let me see. It's gonna be.
We'll talk about that later.
Was that 39 minutes in?
Yeah, okay.
LSU, and says he would be in Baton Rouge on October the 2nd.
Baton Rouge, October 2nd. I'll be there. But anyway, I'll actually be there October 1st. I'll spend the night. That's what I'll do. Anyway,
that didn't hurt.
Joe Brady is that in the NFL flourishing with his offense, but you decided to keep Steve Isminger for one more year.
Sounds personal.
To one more year to do nothing. It was and now you got now you have Joe Brady in the NFL. You could have had Joe Brady as your offensive coordinator. Now, granted, could it have changed anything? No, but it would have been better than what you're doing now. You have no flash on offense. You have
You got one. You got one.
Who was that?
Booty.
You gotta get Booty.
You got Booty. Booty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Booty ate. He ate Saturday.
But what I heard all off season was, oh, we got Goodwin. Oh, yeah, you took Goodwin away. I didn't see him. Y'all had Johnson going out there. You know, at practice, getting all crunk and getting all jumping around, getting all happy.
Dave, he talking about Armani since Tuck ain't gonna stop. He like he gonna hear you.
He was hurt, man. He couldn't play.
That's what I'm saying. But however common is the difference between hurt and injured, and they were just talking all this junk.
Okay.
This junk. All the LSU fans were giving me crap. But it's not. It all comes to Orgeron, Coach O. Y'all told me that this man with this year, he was not going to be. He was going to be ready this year. No. Mississippi State beating LSU last year was not a fluke, guys. I thought
that was foreshadowing.
Yes, thank you. Big word at this time of night.
Big words at
this time of night.
That's what you get when I'm on that water. You know what I'm saying? That's what you get when I'm on that water. That JO education comes through sometimes.
Man, let me tell you, I feel for LSU fans. I really do, because I know what you're going through. Because Auburn fans did the same thing. It happened. But I digress. If Orgeron hires Joe Brady, you don't have none of these problems. That's my opinion.
I reclaim my time. I'm reclaiming the time because this is about to go a whole nother way to the left.
Yeah, it is.
Also, I'm reclaiming the time because of the fact that I still will say that I don't know if he really had the opportunity to hire Joe Brady like he wanted to, but that's a whole different subject before we even get there.
Mm-hmm.
Dave, I need your thoughts on LSU-UCLA.
You know, I'm sitting here thinking about it, and I almost put this game in the same boat as the Oklahoma and Tulane. And here's why. Because I want to see, you know how I feel about preseason rankings, okay?
Right.
So I like to see week 5, 6, see where you at then. So what I want to do, I want to see where, number one, where UCLA is.
Right.
And then where LSU is. So that's going to let me know that it was UCLA legit and LSU was a good team and they just happened to lose, or was LSU who thought they were and UCLA is UCLA. So I do think that UCLA is legit. I really do now. Legit to what point? You know, the fans
their schedule soul is friendly.
They got a very friendly schedule.
Right. It definitely. So, but a friendly schedule, well, it could work this year because, like you talked about with Clemson and the ACC and what they got going on.
Mm-hmm.
So it could work. But are they championship ready? I don't know. But I want to see. I want to put a pin in this one. I want to put a pin in the Oklahoma game. I want to put a pin in this game. And let's revisit and see where they are in about 5 to 6 weeks, because we do know UCLA can run the football. That we do know. And
if they can't do nothing else.
And as Tuck say, they do have a tight end. They got a tight end. So
athletic tight end.
Athletic tight end. So
this is what he did. This is what he did.
For me, put a pin in it. Let's see what we got.
Hey, you know, Sunday was interesting is the pin you putting in, and you said in 5 weeks, that's when they play Oregon. On the 23rd. On the 23rd. It is. It says versus, so they at home.
Yeah. So this
they play Oregon on the 23rd.
This is why I am a proponent of. I understand preseason rankings because you want to sell tickets, but that don't really give you a visual of what you're really looking at. It gives anything.
And I'm gonna say also to your point, you know, when you look at their schedule, depending on what side of the fence you on about Arizona State, they got Arizona State in a couple weeks, but you know, it just depends on however you feel about Arizona State. If not, then their test will be, because after what we saw from Washington, and I don't think that's going to be much of a test. So, so I think that in 5 weeks we're gonna get the answer that we want from them. And even if they were to quote unquote lose to Oregon, if they take care of their business everywhere else, it could end up just being a rematch. Because if I'm not mistaken, UCLA is in the South, right? The Pac-12 South, and then Oregon is in the North. So I mean, so if nothing else, it could be setting up for a rematch in the Pac-12 title game. My takeaway from this game is just simple, man. You know, LSU, man, look, y'all got some work to do. I don't think Max Johnson is not the answer. I mean, he didn't play terribly. You know, he didn't play terribly. I mean, 330 yards, 3 touchdowns. He didn't play bad. You know, but their defense, that's the shockers. For them to have gotten shredded, 2 guys to have almost, well, one had 117 and the other one had 96. You're talking about you had 2 backs that ran for basically 200 yards on you, man.
I don't know if I want to get on them about, because I think these 2 boys probably gonna be in the league. But they're probably gonna
do that to a lot of people. They're probably gonna do that to a lot of people. But you know, just when you hear LSU, you just you know, LSU defense, the defensive line, they got some of the guys back that didn't play last year because of coach. You know, so you would think that the defense would be better, but they got shredded on the ground, man.
I think that's the point. I think the point about it is that it wasn't the fact that the guys ran for 200. It was like, okay, fool, you know we coming.
Right.
You know we coming. And we still getting 12, 13 on y'all. Like that to me was the point, like, so what's really going on? But you talking about the UCLA and about the schedule and all that kind of stuff like that. Like I believe in UCLA. I'm kind of like David. I don't believe that they're ready to overtake Oregon. And the other thing is, hell, will Thibodeau even be ready? I mean, we don't even know if he's gonna play this week against Ohio State. We'll get into that on Thursday. But like, you know, it's like, is he gonna be ready? Where's that team gonna be at? All that kind of stuff like that when it comes to that particular game. But to wrap it up on these preseason rankings with this part right here, preseason rankings are a blessing and they're a curse. They're a blessing because they give us something to talk about. Like, God, I can't believe they put them in the top 10. But it's also a curse because it gives a lot of fan bases false hope. Well, we playing a top 15 team. Sir, they lost the first 2 games and end up going 5-7. Like, you see that, and that's my issue. It's not the fact that we have preseason rankings, it's that week 6, y'all still want to hold on to the fact, well, we played such and such. Well, such and such wasn't great, but it was a name. And I've heard it all weekend long, and I would say this for the end because it's part of something I'm going to say at the end. But bottom line is, like, let's just be 100% real, okay? LSU, you went out there and got your ass manhandled.
Yeah.
Bottom line, you went out there and got your ass manhandled. I don't want to hear no more excuses about it. I'm tired of it.
They was going to run the ball.
You knew they were going to run the ball. So guess what? Guess what? Fix it. Yeah. Fix it or move on, because that was great. And all credit in the world to UCLA. But bruh, bottom line, Pop, y'all gotta hand it to you on that line, bruh. You gotta get that done. And for Stingley, all them bidding decisions you made, bruh, that last bidding decision you made where you weren't even really trying to tackle, bruh, if you ain't in it, you and Rick's too talented to be back.
That's what that tight end did to him, Dave. He did just like that.
He did that, but I'm talking about the guy I'm talking about the last touchdown.
When he was just trying to hold on for dear life. He tried to hold on dear life. But
hey, Stingler. You tackling somebody or you holding a baby? You let me know. And that's the end of it. Lord have mercy, sweet Jesus. Moving on. Now, oh God. You know, I've dreaded this all weekend. Dave, I'm happy for you. I really am happy for you, Dave. Dave, I am happy for you, my brother, because I know your pain and I know what you've been through. Dave, I am happy for you. But when I tell you, I dread this about as much as I do a colonoscopy. Well, we gonna get it.
You gotta drink that juice. You gotta drink that juice.
But first of all, Ben, I'm just joking with you, man. I gotta joke with you for a minute. Notre Dame versus FSU. Now, I'm gonna let the calm one go first. I'm gonna let the calm Florida State fan go on first. Being you always calm before you start talking. It's when you get to talking. So Dave, you go in first. You tell me. Before you say something, I will say this. I'm extremely proud to see what FSU is right now compared to where they were. And it's like you got the life, you got the hope, you got all the stuff that you got to see. I'm happy for them moving everything in the right direction, and that's what you can ask for. But Dave, I'm gonna let you have the flow first. Tuck, me and you ain't got nothing to say about this right now. Not right now, because Tuck, you represent Notre Dame right now. So I'm just here to moderate. Dave, go ahead.
You know, I'm proud. It's a proud day in Seminole Nation. We've had some tough years that it can't really be explained. You can't even put words to it. I still see some deficiencies on the offensive line. We don't really know. I think we know who our quarterback is, but the problem is can he go a whole season? I do like our running backs. Wide receivers, I think they're okay. They're decent. I love the freaking defense. I love that. Other than a few missed assignments and some bonehead, some stuff they got to clean up back there. Honestly, I think coaching lost this game. I really do. I don't think it's the missed field goal. I think we had opportunities prior to that. Me and you and I talked about that that debacle right before halftime where we probably had a chance to get 3.
That was huge.
You got 3 timeouts and you take 3 timeouts
in the half.
It's what, 2nd and 1, and you burn 5 seconds clapping your hands, and then you take a sack, right? What's a sack? Or something like that. And
you just say the hell with it.
Yeah, then you go on jog to the I mean, they don't give you no more timeouts, guys. You got 3 in the first half, 3 in the second half. Okay.
That's it.
This is all you get. But honestly, you know, some people might say it was a moral victory. You're damn right, it was a moral victory. We hadn't had a moral victory in shit since Jameis Winston left. So give me my moral victory, and I'm gonna wear it proudly.
That's right.
Damn it. As far as the debacle towards the end of the game, it wasn't a bad call. I think what really made it bad was that the referee blew it dead after the kick had been kicked and we saw him make it. Had the kick never been kicked, then would it look so bad? But I get the point. I'd rather my kicker have a 30-yard field goal versus 50 yard. But motherfucker look damn good on the 50. But where do we go?
Game of probability.
Yeah. Where do we go from here, Seminole Nation? Do we roll with Milton? Do we roll with Travis? Milton, to me, first of all, that pass he threw over that linebacker head was next level. That was freaking next level. And Travis never would have. First of all, Travis, his head would have been turned to the opposite damn scoreboard because he was turning around and running. Yeah, that's the first thing. But I say all that and I digress. And I will say, I think that we are 200% better tackling. I love number 3. Whoever
Brownlee.
God, I need to be his mama, boy. I need an autograph or something. That joker there, he
been ready to eat.
And then
he been ready to eat.
And I'm not going to talk about your guy. I'm gonna leave the defensive line to you. I'm not going to talk about that because ACC got some problems. Damn it, we put everybody on notice. Let's go. I'm done.
Yes, sir. Now, let's see how this is gonna roll. Now it's time.
I put on a single shot. You know what I'm saying? Put on a single shot. You know what? I think the interesting thing that I'm gonna go is I'm gonna start off being complimentary. Jack Combs, sake, whatever your name is, buddy. You shocked the hell out of me. You threw some dimes out there. He did. He really did. Some of them throws Jack Cohen made, man.
was really real offense.
Was really nice, man. I can't. There's nothing negative that you can really say about Jack Owen in that game. He actually balled out. I mean, you know, we're gonna look at the secondary. For me, the secondary played fine. Some of those catches Notre Dame made were just better catches. Sometimes, as we all know, better offense sometimes can beat better defense. It just happens like that from time to time. But today's point, we need them both, Dave, because can't neither one of them hold up. Because if you play Mackenzie Milton at the beginning of the game when Notre Dame is fresh, he gonna get killed. He gonna get killed. Like he's gonna get killed. But as you see with Jordan Travis, right on schedule, get his helmet knocked off, he pull a hamstring. What the hell is that? What the hell is that? That's Chuck over there fucking around. But right on schedule, Jordan Travis, you knew it was coming. You knew Jordan Travis was gonna get banged up at some point in the game. You knew he was. And right on schedule, he gets banged up. But ultimately, man, you know, Jermaine Johnson, thank you, Georgia. Thank you, Georgia. Because that kid is a man. Do you hear me? A grown man who is playing for himself and he playing for the team. What is that?
So
what the hell is that?
Ben, to your point, and you know, you make a great point. You know, there are some teams that have one quarterback that can't play 4 quarters.
Yeah. We're gonna need them both.
Fortunately, we have 2 that can't play 4 quarters.
We're gonna I know it sounds crazy and they get along. We're gonna need them both. Like, I mean, because like you said, there are things that McKenzie can do that Jordan can't. And there's clearly things that Jordan can do that McKenzie can't behind that line. So we're going to need them both as the year goes on. But the most encouraging thing of the whole night is that defensive line. That kid, Kyron Williams, he ran up and through us last year. Like, it was absolutely ridiculous what he did to us last year. So for them to be able to hold him to 42 yards, and there were times in that fourth quarter when Notre Dame wanted to run the ball out. They wanted to run it, and they couldn't. I mean, they just couldn't. You look at Keir Thomas, bringing him in from South Carolina, Jermaine Johnson, and then you still got Fabian Levitt. Those are all quote-unquote SEC mercenaries that are now on that D-line, and they're there. And going forward, you got to tip your hat, man. You got to tip your hat, man. You damn right we're going to claim our moral victory. You got damn right. The season starts with Wake Forest in 2 weeks.
And we're going to get at their ass.
Because all of this goes down the drain. If we shit the bed against Wake Forest in 2 weeks.
And we have seen this happen.
And we have seen it happen.
We have seen this happen now. They'll come out looking like world beaters on Labor Day weekend.
Because I already know what's going to happen against Jacksonville. We're going to beat Jacksonville Saturday. I ain't worrying about that. It's what we do in 2 weeks against Wake. We got to go to Wake.
We got Saturday?
We got Jacksonville Saturday. You just seen how UAB just embarrassed them. I'm not worried about them. We ain't worried about Jacksonville. We ain't worried about that.
You see, Dave. You see, I ain't saying that when he said that, right?
We ain't worried about Jacksonville, Dave. This ain't last year, Dave. Come on, hanging up with me. This ain't last year.
I'm gonna roll with you, Ben. If it goes sour, I'm not rolling with you no more. You got me this weekend.
Look, man. I'm the way UAB did it Jacksonville Thursday, man. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm looking to wait. I'm looking to wait.
That's one game, brother.
Ben.
I'm looking to wait.
Ben.
I'm not looking at you, dudes. I'm looking past you.
Bars.
That's great. Keep that in the bar, because that ain't got nothing to do between them 100 yards. Okay.
I'm not worrying about Jacksonville. What about them?
This gonna be a girl.
Hey, here it is right here. If that Clemson QB coming in and it's 7-0,
he played last year.
I need a live look and Ben Dennis.
I'll be home too. I'll be home. I'll be settled. I'll be home.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that you look at that. But see, here's my thing. What you should not be looking past this game. I'm gonna tell you why. Not because you're not gonna win the game, but you should see how they bounce back, how they continue with their execution and all that kind of good stuff like that. That's what you want to see from this team, is continuous improvement. I
want to see that against Wake. I want to see that against Wake.
You got to get there first, man.
I can't take nothing from what we do against Jacksonville. I can't take nothing from it. Here's the thing. Okay, we blow them out. We're supposed to blow them out. If it's a struggle, if it's a close game, it's gonna be viewed as we played down because we was down because we lost the week before. So it's really there's nothing you can take from this game.
Hold on. Let me stop you right there. Because see, you went straight to we blow them out. You went to a score. I could give crap about a score. I'm talking about how your team is playing. Do they correct mistakes from the week before? Do they do some of those things better? Is your team progressively getting better? Ain't always going to be on the scoreboard. It's going to be in the execution of your team. That's what you want to continue to see, not the scoreboard.
I see that against Wake. I'm not worrying about that against Jacksonville. I can't take nothing from Jacksonville, bro. Can't take nothing from that.
Renard,
I can't take nothing from that. I can't take nothing from that.
About to be a sound. I promise you.
Can't take nothing from it.
In Jacksonville State.
You know what?
Can't take nothing from it.
T-shirt. I got a new T-shirt. I can't take nothing from it.
I can't take nothing from it.
This
Oh man.
This man just told me I can't take nothing from a team that's trying to improve and get better each. And so just throw get better every week out the window, huh?
I got to see it against Wake. I got to see it in ACC play, baby.
I'm saying you want to see it against Wake, but you still got to see progression from week 1 to week 2. You don't want to see the same mistakes in week 1. We
gonna see that? Are we gonna see false starts? We gonna see late hits? That is what we do. We've been doing that for the last 3-4 years. We gonna see that anyway. We gonna see that anyway.
Moving on. I can't, Lord. And I apologize to any coach that's watching this show. I apologize for this because this man just said the hell with week 2. I apologize. I know what he's trying to say. I do too. Lord, I know he's trying to say, but Lord have mercy. Help him, Jesus. I don't know. Go get something to drink. Do something.
No,
moving on.
Thursday, I'll be back live. I'm on H2O tonight. H2O.
No, we just don't even need you to drink anything. Water, Gatorade, nothing. Moving on, bro. Let's move on to Sunday. Sunday was a great day for HBCU exposure. You had of course you had FAMU versus Jackson State, which is a game we're about to talk about. You had a okay game in Tennessee State and Grambling. Then you just had a lopsided game in Tuskegee and Fort Valley State.
I was so disappointed in Tuskegee.
But it was the exposure. But let's talk about FAMU versus Jackson State. And if you're not following Dion, man, on all his social media and watching his little documentary, man, it's better than Hard Knocks. If you like Hard Knocks, you're gonna like it. You're gonna really, really like it because it really goes inside of it. Jackson State. Let me just talk to y'all about Jackson State for a second.
Okay.
These guys they got on their D line up here. It's not fair. It's not right. Jesus be the wheel. Because they got some dogs. FAMU got some dogs too.
Mm-hmm.
But game was 7-6. Bad weather, of course. Had a lot of rain down there in Miami, but I think it was a pretty good showing for the HBCU community to be on that particular platform and kind of like put a spotlight on everything that's going on. But Dave, I'm gonna let you start first about the FAMU Jackson State game, man. And of course, shout out to my boy, Mr. Marquise Bell, number 5 FAMU safety. Watch him. Keep doing your thing, brother. That's my guy now. I got every time I see him, I gotta say something about him. But Dave, I'll let you go ahead and tell me what your thoughts and impressions was on the game.
Alabama A&M will win the SWAC again.
Wait a minute. He don't pull one of my numbers. No. That wasn't even on the docket. He just said, I don't want to let you know.
I'm sorry. I thought you asked me another question. I thought
Congratulations, A&M, on your win. Congratulations, A&M, on your win.
Hey, but honestly, man, I thought it was fantastic, man. I first of all, I'm disappointed that the Grambling and Tennessee State game was on kind of, well, really not kind of. It was on at the same time. I think it was like a 30-minute difference. So I saw that one, but it still wasn't the same. the aura around this game was just something different. I really enjoyed this game more than some of the big time games that I've seen this weekend as well. But from a game aspect, I think that first of all, if FAMU can get their quarterback situation worked out,
yeah,
they can be a.
They already named on board the starter.
Which one?
Who? Merchant.
The white guy.
7.
He's the starter. Number 7. Yeah, he's the starter. Yeah, they named the starter today.
Okay. But I'm still talking about something else though.
I'm sorry. So I was just letting you know. I apologize.
Well, no. I like that. I'm saying that if they could get somebody in that was not the same bad, but you know what I mean. You know, you're always looking to upgrade. You know, I mean, shucks. So, FAM surprised me. Not that I didn't think they were solid, but they surprised. I think they were a quarterback away from winning that game. I really do. Jackson State, on the other hand, the defense looks impressive. The offense looks impressive. I question the depth, though, because when I looked at the defensive line, what they were doing in the first half was ridiculous. Second half, FAMU was running the football.
Right.
They was gashing. So now it's a depth issue. It's okay. So do you, at some point, Prime is going to have to bring in some true freshmen, because the transfer player is going to be there just for a limited amount of time. He's going to build some depth. What I enjoyed most was seeing Shiloh.
Mm-hmm.
Shiloh is a doggone dog. You hear me?
Yeah.
He's a dog. He showed you he was a dog at the Power 5 level. Mm-hmm. He's showing you he's a dog at SWAT.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what to say. I mean, I hadn't seen a safety come downhill and make physical contact like that in a long time.
And he like it too.
And he like it.
And he
does it in a way that he doesn't get called for like targeting and things like that, because he's able to, he ain't wrap it up. First of all, guys, he's not wrapping up at all. He bringing all of how much he weigh into you in a way the way he won't get called for targeting. At least he didn't get called for targeting on Sunday.
Right.
Shador Sanders, he did okay job. I mean, he made a couple of passes, but I had question marks with him coming out of high school.
Right.
But all in all, man, bottom line, I enjoyed the game. It was great exposure. I watched it from start to finish. I felt like FAMU is I think that FAMU is a quarterback away from winning that game. Maybe if 7 would have started, they would have got it. But I don't care who would have started. They couldn't block him up front the first half. So it really did.
Right.
And I think to your point, you know, when you look at Jackson State, Shador, he got some things he got tightened up. But I mean, it was his first start. You know what I'm saying? Because he had a couple fumbles, you know, that was in critical spots that kind of, you know, they could have pushed the score a little more than what it was had he not had those. But also on the flip side, Florida A&M defensive line, they was hitting his ass. He was getting tagged. Like, even when he was trying to escape the pocket and run, he was getting hit. Like, there wasn't no, he definitely felt what the difference between high school and college was, because he got tagged quite a few times in that game.
I think Renard homeboy got it one time. The safety I think, did he get him off the safety blitz or something like that?
He may have, because I'm telling you, man, he was getting tagged, man. And I think
if Marquise hits you, you're gonna remember.
Yes. And I think ultimately, when you look at this game, I think, like you said, the best part about it was, you know, low scoring games a lot of time, like we joked about it before the show, people say it's like watching paint. But if you're a fan of football, you like it. I mean, you like seeing a game where you don't know which way it's going to go. Both defenses are playing, you know, offenses is making, you know, but you seeing the game and you seeing it evolve as a great game, and it ended up being, you know, 7-6. So, I mean, hats off to both teams. And for me, like you said, I look at Florida A&M and I say, hey, man, if they can figure out their quarterback situation and their defense can continue to grow and play the way that they played Sunday, they gonna surprise a couple folks this year.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I agree.
I mean, y'all pretty much said everything. So all I'm gonna say is Jackson State needs to learn how to talk to their band, because they're gonna get them some penalties, bro. It's gonna come back and hurt them down the road. I think all HBCU bands need to know the rules of how not to play. When the center has the football on his hand and on the line, you can't play no more. You have to be quiet. So,
hey, Tuck, here's the thing: they know the rules. They could possibly get fined. They know the rules. We knew the rules in 1990. I was in the band at A&M from 96 to 2000. We knew the rules. Here's the problem: they don't watch the freaking game.
Yeah.
One of two things: they either don't watch the game, or they get so caught up in the
battle.
The battle. They get caught up in the battle to where they lose focus on the game, and that's something we had to change. When I was in college, we had to realize that, hey, our show is either before the game, halftime, after the game, but during the game, our show is to support the team, and we got to keep an eye on. No need for us to be blowing the hell out the instrument, and they can't hear their signals. That's counterproductive.
Yeah, and shout out to Dion too. I agree with wholeheartedly about the names on the back of the jerseys. Also, anytime you're on, because anytime you're on TV, they want you to have your names on the back of your jerseys. I think now with ESPN doing and most of any other network, your name is going to be needs to be on the back of your jersey. Because even Notre Dame doesn't have names on the back of the jersey until the bowl game, but things have changed, since back in the days and stuff like that. It's not an extra dime to put the names on the back of the jersey. All it is just a little small template that you had to get on the back to put on the back of a jersey. It's not like he said he'll even pay for it. He know he'll pay for it because it doesn't cost that much to take care of. I really wish they'll take care of that too from the HBCU perspective. I think that was a good gesture to the coach Deion Sanders had that he'll do whatever they need to, because he was in the press conference, told him stand up, turn around, and then I think their mama would like to see the name on the back of the jersey. I agree wholeheartedly. The game was great venue. It was a great, great showcase. Like I said, defenses came through. Offenses they needed some work. Like it was Shadour's first game, and then Shiloh downhill. Yeah, he likes it. I love that. Hey, he's a point A to point B type safety.
Yes, sir.
He don't care about nothing else. So that's like great. It was a good game.
Okay. Definitely enjoyed the game, man. Everything about it, about the showcase. And like you said, Jackson State, we'll see them a lot more on TV. Definitely more HBCU games are going to come around with it. I like I said, it was enjoyable. I enjoyed the fact of what Dion puts into it. People have a problem with his antics, but you can't say his antics are not about pushing stuff forward.
As a whole,
everybody say, "Oh, this is self-serving." Well, it might be self-serving, but guess what? He's spending more money and putting more money into Jackson State and putting more money into the SWAC and putting more money into HBCU in football in general. Because if nothing else, he catching the hot headline every time he say something. Y'all want to capture the headline when he talks about, well, we need more exposure for HBCU because we need our own HBCU combine, or we need this, or y'all need to do this. We need more people come and do this and do that. It's like every time he talks, he continues to push the narrative forward of what he's trying to do. So you can call him whatever you want to call him. You can just call him the fact that he's getting something done. And while we talk about Dion, it brings back the attention back to the coach that's been doing it for a long time. Because I learned facts in the game on Sunday about other HBCU coaches, legendary HBCU coaches, a lot of stuff that people don't understand or know about. Because there's still people out there who don't even know who Eddie Robinson is.
Yeah.
Like it shocks me every time. They're like, "Oh, you talking about he was a guy that coached a long time, right?" Like that's the kind of answers I get from people. And people just all make a thing just because we're African Americans that we know, and a lot of them don't. Because a lot of them only started watching football when Alabama got successful, or when their big team in that state got successful, and they don't really understand it. So I'm happy to see that the narrative continue to be pushed forward. I think we're going to end it right here on that note. We actually we have more that we can really get to But we'll say something for Thursday night if we didn't hit on it. Y'all, I'm sure y'all be letting us know, but we don't want a 2.5 hour podcast. So we want to make sure we let y'all give y'all time back, as they say. But one thing I do want to say is Kyle Hamilton, if you ever run across that field like that again, just don't play no more college football. Just go ahead and just
I ain't even
go ahead and go to the league. Just go to the league. Just go to the league. But before we get ready to go, as y'all can see right here, DSLpodcast.com. As you can see, David has some of the merch on right now. Shout out to Arian for getting his merch in, man. We'll get y'all some pictures up tomorrow when we drop this episode. But shout out to everybody that continues to follow us, man. And also, we'll be back Thursday night and probably Saturday morning again. But then Thursday night for the prediction show live. It's time for us to get some more guests on for our prediction show. So you never know who may or may not show up. But if nothing else, Lee Corso will be here on Thursday. Back again, live in the building. So
and Saturday, if we on Saturday, I won't be in the car. I'll be chilling in my cave. I won't have that McDonald's Wi-Fi action that I had going on.
See, nobody even knew it was McDonald's Wi-Fi. You could just blame it on the road. See how you're telling yourself?
Well, I've tried to pull over.
You see how you telling yourself? You see, this is what people do. This is what people do. They just tell on themselves and talk about themselves all the time. However, once again, thank y'all, man, for everything. Follow the show, like and subscribe on YouTube. Hit that bell. DSLpodcast.com. If you ever miss an episode, all our links are there, including our YouTube link and including our merchandise. David has some of the merchandise there now. So if you like it, go on there and buy. Continue to support us, man. If nothing else, we'll be back on Thursday. This is Down South Football Podcast, and we out, man. Y'all be good.
All right.